What's up, everybody? Welcome to my video for UFC 299. Me and Zach are doing the separate videos again just because our schedules don't line up and work doesn't like us to record together anymore. So to get right into it, a main event, we got Sean O'Malley taking on Cheeto Vera in a rematch. It's one that's been in the making for a while. Both guys, Cheeto's kind of, since their fight, Cheeto's kind of worked his way into the top, and he's been a regular name over there. Sean is, he's since that fight, he's been fighting people that people feel like he shouldn't be fighting. Some unranked guys, some high ranked guys, and everyone's kind of questioning where does he go? When does he finally get into the top 10 and all that? There was the whole unranked thing. There's the undefeated thing that he was going with. Then he fights Piotr Jan, beats Piotr. Next thing you know, he's fighting for the championship. And like a year later, and he knocks out the champion. Now he's the world champion. Cheeto Vera has had a great run, a really violent run, except for his loss to Corey Sandhagen. But I mean, it's been crazy to see the way he's taking guys out. What he did to Dominic Cruz, what he did to Frankie Edgar, his fight with Rob Font was. I think Rob Font landed a significant amount more strikes than he did, and Cheeto Vera fucking wins by decision. It's crazy, you know. So this fight, it's a good rematch. I mean, it's Sean O'Malley's only loss on his career. I know there's the whole freak injury thing. People were talking about that. I mean, even if Cheeto, I doubt he was going for the nerve. That's just my opinion. But I mean, he made that happen. He caused his legs to go dead, to go numb, and it led to Cheeto eventually taking advantage of it, and it was a flash knockout. He put Sean out for a little bit, he went out, woke back up for a split second, and then went out again, woke back up, and I mean, it's just with the win, though, I think Cheeto, it takes away from a lot, but with this fight, though, I mean, I see it being on the feet a lot. Cheeto, I think the issue that he has is, so where that's going to help Sean out a lot is Cheeto kind of gets on the back foot a lot. He really doesn't push a crazy pace until he sees a good opening to make some damage happen. We saw with Frankie Edgar, I mean, going into the in the third round in that fight, I would say that they were 1-1 in a 3-round fight. So there's a chance that he was probably going to lose to Frankie Edgar if Frankie didn't get finished. But I mean, even in the Rob Font fight, he was kind of he wasn't really keeping up with the volume that Rob Font was, but there was damage there. And with Sean O'Malley, I just don't think that being on the back foot waiting for your opening is a good thing to happen. I mean, we saw somebody like Corey Sandhagen completely shut that down, and we've seen Sean, really find his home with it. I mean, we all knew his striking was his bread and butter, but I mean, he won the championship with it. I mean, he hung with fucking Piotr Jan with it, and so with this fight, I think Sean gets the decision. I would like to see Cheeto win, though. I really like Cheeto. It's not that I don't like Cheeto, but I just think the way that Cheeto's approach to his fight game, I think the way that it plays out, it plays into Sean's favor even more. So we're just gonna have to kind of wait and see what happens with that. I don't know what Cheeto's game plan is. I'm pretty sure Sean's gonna be ready for the leg kicks this time around. But I mean, he's calculated. He knows exactly when to pounce on something, but does Sean give him an opening to do so? I mean, we saw Piotr hurt him a couple times in their fight, and that was only a 3-round fight. And Piotr was able to kind of play his game a little bit, and he waited for that moment, saw the opening, and then was able to hurt Sean with it. And I think Cheeto can find those openings, but I don't know if Sean has to go in there and fight his best fight, and so does Cheeto to win. I mean, this is for the championship. It's going to see who's the best bantamweight in the world. So I really don't know exactly what Cheeto's planning to bring to the table. If it goes to the ground, it's going to get interesting. I don't see it going to the ground at all, but I mean, both guys have really good jiu-jitsu. I know we don't really see Sean go to the ground much, but he does have good jiu-jitsu. He trains with Tim Welch. I can't remember his jiu-jitsu coach's name also. And so co-main event, we have Dustin Poirier taking on Benoit Saint Denis. And so this is an interesting fight. Really interesting fight. I'm a big Dustin Poirier fan, so this is probably my favorite fight of the night. We have Dustin Poirier coming off that knockout loss to Justin Gaethje. He's 35 now, coming against a 27-year-old Benoit Saint Denis. That's a really fucking hard name to say, guys. Sorry. But yeah, so Benoit. So Benoit, he's a former spec ops in the French army, and so the dude's he's definitely seen and done some shit. And so a guy like that with that kind of background, he's on a 5 finish streak right now. He's 27 years old. He's got the age advantage. He's got the hype coming in with him. I mean, he's a dangerous guy, and these are the kind of fights that we like to see Dustin in. These are the kind of fights that Dustin is willing to put himself into, you know? So we're going to kind of see exactly what Dustin's going to bring to the table to combat such a hard-nosed style that Benoit has. I mean, he likes these firefights, and I think somebody said if there's ever a firefight, there's one person running towards it, and it's, Dustin Poirier. But Benoit Saint Denis actually runs towards firefights. He's been in the thick of it before, So it's gonna be an interesting one. I know that Benoit's background is jiu-jitsu, but so is Dustin Poirier. So we're gonna see if it goes to the ground. I think that does get pretty fun too, though. But I don't really see it going to the ground. I think it's going to be a stand-up fight. I want to see Dustin win, man. But, I mean, coming off of a pretty brutal knockout loss to Justin Gaethje, Benoit's on a lot of hype, but it's also a 5-round fight, and I think that plays more into Dustin's favor as well. I mean, he's had some 5-round wars before. The main one was him and Dan Hooker. That was a crazy fight. I think Dustin's going to be able to hang in there for 5. Because seeing that it's a 5-round fight, I feel like that plays better into Dustin's advantage as far as we've seen. We haven't seen Benoit, really go 5 rounds before. So just based off of what we've seen, like, I think a lot of this plays into Dustin's advantage more. But yeah, man, I'm going to go Dustin, though. I think it goes all 5 rounds. I don't really see how I can see Dustin getting knocked out, but that's just because we've seen him get freshly knocked out right now. But I think he's too tough. Also, he got caught by a great head kick by a guy who's known for putting people to sleep with Justin Gaethje. But I got Dustin by decision, though. But oh yeah, and also I'll probably go with Sean. I don't see him finishing Cheeto. Cheeto's tough as hell, so I think that one goes all 5 as well. But I think it's gonna be fun 5-round fights, though. Everyone kind of hates the idea of 5-round fights, but I mean, you just gotta make the most of it, man. And I think those guys are definitely gonna do so. I mean, this is a great card, and one fight that I think is a sleeper card is it's a sleeper fight on the card. I think a lot of people really aren't giving as much attention as they should because it's on the prelims. Is Mateusz Gamrot taking it on Rafael dos Anjos. Rafael's a former champ. He's a former lightweight champ. He fought for the interim welterweight title against Colby Covington. Taking on Mateusz Gamrot, who's been kind of the top 10 for a little while now. He's had his chances to break into the top 5 with when he fought Beneil Dariush over in Abu Dhabi, and he lost that fight. But he's coming off a win over Rafael Fiziev, which he won that fight because Rafael blew his knee out, which really sucks to see because I was looking forward to that fight. With this fight, though, also is I know RDA is known for his grappling, and since he's gotten a little older, he's kind of, he still strikes, but his striking isn't as it was a lot of flurries whenever he was on his rise to the championship. But now he focuses more on grappling. He's a grappling heavy fighter now, which is, he's going back to his basics, and it's helping him have the longevity that he's had to where we get to see legends like him continue fighting, is because they're not taking as much damage. But Mateusz Gamrot is somebody you don't really sleep on when it comes to the grappling. He has great grappling, and I think that it's going to get very interesting whenever it goes to the ground with these guys, because I don't know if he's going to be able to put his will on somebody like Mateusz. But I mean, he's been able to do it before. When he fought Neil Magny, I believe he won by submission. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but I think Mateusz pulls it off, though, just because when it comes to the grappling side, I think he's going to have the right defense to avoid that, because if RDA is able to get him to the ground, I don't see him being down there for long, because RDA just would get him down and bully him, beat him up, kind of like how we did to Renato Moicano. But I think when it comes to the feet, I think Mateusz has the better stand-up, but it's going to be the in-pocket exchanges that's going to really give RDA that advantage, though. I mean, he's really good in the pocket, and even though I mentioned before that he's kind of going to the ground more. We see him using his grappling now in his wrestling. I mean, we did see Mateusz get caught in his fight against Beneil. I mean, but he was also able to stand toe to toe with somebody like Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's a really hard fighter. He's a long fighter, dude. Like, especially for 155. But I think Mateusz is gonna be able to have an even playing field when it comes to the grappling. When it comes to the stand up, I think he has that advantage. He's training over at AKA, and so not AKA. He's at American Top Team right there in Florida, and so I know those guys are already everywhere. And I think Mateusz is gonna be ready. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a knockout. I'm just kind of winging it when I say that, make that prediction, just because, I mean, I've said nothing but decisions. We got to mix it up a little bit, right? So, but I think Mateusz takes it, though. I don't know how he takes it, but I think he does get the win. But let me know what y'all's thoughts and predictions on the main event. Let me know what y'all think is a fight we should have talked about. There's plenty of fights that we should have talked about, but I mean, just want to give y'all my 3 favorites to look out for. I know that Piotr Jan's taking on Song Yudong. That's a great fight right there, too. But, yeah, man, appreciate y'all for checking in. Be sure to check out our Instagram at Devin the Bear Podcast. So, yeah, appreciate you guys.